Welcome to Who Made This Mess? Raising Children and Reparenting Ourselves. Here we discuss the joys and challenges of parenting while trying to develop our own self-awareness and self-compassion. Raising children can be messy and so hard, but we believe that as we learn to embrace our own messiness and imperfection, we can learn to show up for our kids and raise a gentler generation. Hi, I'm Shauna.
And I'm Angie.
And welcome to Who Made This Mess?
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah. So we're two lifelong friends, and we're also moms. I'm a parent to a toddler.
And I am a parent to a 9 and 10-year-old.
Wow. And we wanted to create a space for parents to feel supported, to relate to us and the challenges that we're going through.
Right.
Yeah. To learn from our mistakes, because we sure do make them.
Yes, we do. Yes, it's definitely a journey.
And benefit maybe even from what we're learning along the way about ourselves and about what it means to be a parent.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So I'm Shauna. I'm actually a marriage and family therapist. So I work with lots of families, kids, parents, couples who are navigating being parents. I've taught parent education classes for about 10 years. And so parenting is kind of like my passion project, right?
Yeah.
And now I am a parent myself. So I've been learning a lot and applying a lot of what I've researched and learned over the years about attachment theory, building strong bonds with your child, how to have a gentler approach to parenting. I've been kind of making a shift from behavior focused to more emotion focused and growth parenting, and just being really like child directed, trying to help my daughter to be the best, happiest, most confident self that she can grow to be.
Right. I am a stay-at-home mom currently. I have had a daycare that I ran through my home, and I also was a preschool teacher for a few years as well and really enjoyed that experience. Learned a lot from both of those things. And currently, the most recent things that I've done has been involved with children's ministry within the church, and that was also a lot to learn, and I appreciate the experience that I have gotten and will continue to get in that space as well, and just share along. We've shared with each other, and our goal is to share with you the things that we've learned along the way thus far, up to the age that my children are. That's the experience that I have. Yeah,
you've been such an important part of my village here, like in becoming a mom in the past 2 years, and we've been friends for a really long time.
We have, yes. So Shauna was my very first friend. I was adopted from India and adopted into a pastor's family that lived in the southwestern part of Pennsylvania, which is where we still both currently are from, the western side of Pennsylvania. And when I arrived here in the States and moved in with my family, I was 2 years old, and I met Shauna, my neighbor, and we lived right beside each other and would play together. And your family also attended the church that my dad was pastoring, and we've been lifelong friends ever since, which is it's just wonderful. It's amazing, and I appreciate it so much. Like you said, like we've been support system to each other through even marriage, getting married, and college life, and boyfriends, and all that. So it's a relationship I cherish, and you'll gather that with our conversation as you listen, that we do mean so much to each other, and we hope that you feel our love too as we share with you.
Yeah. I was also 2 when we met, and we have some really fun memories of those early years. Especially, we'll probably tell you at some point about our fight over the Barbie car, our like one and only fight in
Stay
life.
tuned for that one.
Yeah. But then you moved away.
Yeah.
And we still managed in a time before social media to stay friends throughout all the years.
That is true.
Yeah.
Before all the connections, the way you can connect through online.
Yeah. So that's something I think I'm kind of proud of, that we were able to stay friends through all of the life changes that we went through. And now in this journey of motherhood, it's like a new exciting layer to our friendship and that history together. So
for sure. Yeah. And we're both married now. So with that, motherhood comes along, our spouses in the parenthood journey.
Yeah.
And we understand that our listeners may or may not be married, but we hope that our experiences can help you as well with that. Because it's teamwork. So.
Yeah. It's such a big adjustment, a big transition. Even like in your marriage, how your marriage changes once you become a parent.
Right.
I feel like I'm still kind of, my daughter's 21 months old. So I'm coming out of that first year of like it's a whirlwind.
Yes.
Everything changes and everything's different. And you're like, who?
Every day.
Yeah. I was going to say, who am I married to? But actually, I think it's a little bit more of like, who am I now?
Right.
Yeah. And like the change just in yourself that you go through is so significant.
Yeah. And I think you can have an idea of what kind of parent you'll be and what, maybe in getting ready to get married, you'll discuss some of the foundational things with your future spouse about what parenting style and things like that. But, you do learn a lot about yourself when you become a parent. And, I know for myself, a lot of like memories came up or, I would have never thought about that until the moment hit that day. What am I going to do? And you do resort back into your own experience growing up. And
absolutely.
Thankfully we both had parents of faith. And so our beliefs do weigh into how we navigate parenthood as well. And it's really important to us and part of our goal.
Yeah, we both also happen to be married to men in ministry.
Yeah, we are. Yes, so. That carries its own separate like bag of baggage with it, for sure.
And I'm still figuring out what that looks like, and you've had a few more years of experience than I have in that. How long ago did you meet your husband?
12 years ago.
Gosh, wow. How is that
and
possible?
He was a minister already whenever we met.
Mine too.
And it's a different kind of dynamic with it, because I feel like at the church where, you may feel you'll get the most help, which you do, you're also under a microscope as well. Like so there is like the pressures that can come along with that if you allow it to filter in and cause you pressure. But it's definitely I'm very, very thankful for my husband's background in faith, and he's a great leader for those reasons. And so I do appreciate that.
No, it's certainly a blessing to have a husband who, has something that he believes in, right, and stands by, and to see each of them get really passionate about the work that they do, and how they care for others. So we both are kind of on this journey of being mothers and parents, and kind of learning about who we want to be as parents.
And part of what goes into the title of Who Made This Mess? We definitely have had our ups and downs and challenges with parenting that we have learned from, because they've been mistakes, or they've been things that we've brought into our parenting that we may have had to learn that wasn't a great thing. So so as far as who made this mess, sometimes it's us. It's not the kid who spilled the milk. And so we do want to navigate those things that it's part of us, it's who we are, but we can work with it through to get a positive outcome in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I think, I've been thinking about what kind of parent I want to be for so long.
Yeah.
And now practicing it, I am learning some of the ways that I definitely fall short, difficulties with like keeping my emotions in check or setting a good example when it comes to screen time on my phone, right?
Yeah.
Like all those things that you're like, I am not going to let my child see a screen until they're over 2 years old.
Yeah.
And then it's like, here, kid.
Yes, right. Those
break.
expectations that we go into parenting with. And as far as what kind of parent I want to be, I know it's changed. It has changed because there's things that I think that I held really to be of utmost importance, and then other things that I think I maybe have thought like I don't have to worry about that yet, honestly, because they're so young. And then there will be moments in conversation with my 9 or 10-year-old, and it's like, oh, you're paying attention to that. Oh, this is something I really do need to be intentional about right now. And my goal as a parent is to something that I have learned from leadership and ministry is that we're not raising children, we're raising future adults. And so that really does help change the perspective that I want to prepare them for adulthood. And it is my job and it is my responsibility to prepare them for that, because they will learn. If you don't show them, they will learn from someone else first. And I really want to be that first point of contact when it comes with anything really, so that they can then have our conversation and our viewpoints and our beliefs as foundation as they go out and navigate.
Yeah, it sounds like you're trying to be really mindful about the messages and the lessons that you're teaching to your kids. So
and I don't always get it right. One thing that I've had to work on is just every day having positive deposits in them before they start their school day. And it can get rough, some of that mess that we add to it. The running late. Get your shoes on. Why are you late? You know what time you have to leave, and just kind of like picking at them through the morning. And I had to learn, this doesn't matter. Let's deposit some good things before they leave for their day. And
I think I'm still learning on like what to let go, and what to really like be very mindful of. I think one of my goals as a parent is to be really responsive to my daughter and her emotions. That's something that I think is really important in helping her learn emotion management, and learn, also just like that her feelings matter.
Right.
So trying to maybe do things differently than the way that most of us were parented. When I don't want to blame my parents. So I'm like, the way that I was parented, they were doing the best they could, but they didn't always know what to do with my big feelings. And sometimes maybe shut them down. And so I am trying to learn to sit with some of her big feelings, and my big feelings that come up with that. And it's definitely been a journey for me, but trying to help her learn her feelings are okay. Her feelings matter to me. I see her, I hear her, I love her, whether she's, doing exactly what I told her to do, or whether she's, totally off task and throwing a tantrum or whatever that might be. That like my love for you does not change based on how good you are as a kid.
Right. That's so good. One thing that I'm still navigating that right now, and I think that's really awesome that it's something that you've recognized that you do want to be intentional about now at her 21-month age, because you want them to know and learn that this is a safe space, and emotions are normal. I think that's so good to teach, because, and that again is another thing I had to work on, because there can be pressure. Like you think of the grocery store outburst, and it's like, stop, no, and like really taking the time to say, no, I love you more than the little bit of embarrassment that might be caused in this moment. I will take the time to hear you out in this moment if it's necessary upon the situation. And really take in, like, what are you feeling? What's the root of this emotion that's coming out?
Yeah.
And that's just one example, but just in general, just I want them to feel safe that they can come to me. And it's precious that you're doing that now at the age that she is, so that she can learn that my emotions are for a reason and they're okay, and my mom will work with me to figure it out, and is giving me the space too.
I'm trying. Yeah. And I think, sometimes it's looking at like, what is the reason underneath of this behavior, right? Like I've wanted to take her into certain stores, and I've noticed when I take her into a craft store, like Michael's or Joann's, she gets, she wants to grab everything on the shelf. She's like running all around, right? She's, getting really upset about things. And, I think there's this tendency to be like, oh my gosh, you're like, why are you acting like this? You're being, you're being so bad right now, right? And trying to think about like, oh, I like these stores because like, oh, there's so many things I want to look at. And like, I'd love to just browse. And for her, it's like, ooh, here are all these new things, bright, sparkling things. Yeah. This is kind of exciting, but also overwhelming. Yeah. And she doesn't know how to regulate that yet.
And they don't pay attention that you've walked into a store. This is just the closest thing in their vicinity at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, so I had to learn to adjust some of my expectations around that of like, oh, if I want to browse at the craft store, I can't take you with me. It's just not reasonable for me to have that expectation of you to just like sit there and go along with me as I peruse the aisles of ribbon and glitter, right? Like it's okay for me to know, okay, if I want to do that and enjoy it, like that's separate time. That's mommy time. Yes. Me doing something for myself. If I need to go into the craft store and pick something up really quickly, she might be able to handle that. But it's also, she might kind of throw a fit and tantrum, and like that's okay, because that's not a reflection on her goodness as a person, and it's not a reflection on my goodness as a mom. And that's hard, I think, sometimes for me to believe that like my child's behavior is not a reflection on me as a person, on me as a mom.
Yeah, I think it's kind of funny that you mentioned that as an example, because I still tell my kids, look with your eyes, don't touch. And they're 9 and 10. They can handle actually like touching things at the store. But I think I have, and that might be some of the things that I've portrayed and are just like etched in there. That comes from my time as a preschool teacher, my time as a daycare mom with little kids. And so it's like my initial thing is like, you're going to break something, don't touch anything, and I still say that. And it actually just came to mind as you said that I do still say, look with your eyes. When we're in here, look with your eyes, not with your, don't touch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
and I wonder what they think.
They're like, Mom, like we're not going to stick the toy in our nose.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Yeah. And I wonder too, like how you've had to adjust and transition your parenting styles and approaches as your kids have grown. Like what I do with my daughter at almost 2 is going to be so different than what you do with your 9 and 10-year-olds, right? And so you've had to change and grow with them.
Right. And then even just the different dynamics that come with having a boy and having a girl. I have both a son and a daughter. And so that's different, I definitely think that there's going to be times where I have to rely more heavily on my husband, because it's like, this is a male mindset. And I think that I can be drawn to helping Jasmine through things in a way because of my own experience as a woman. And so, I haven't had many challenges like that yet. They're still young. It's still, just toys and school. And so, but I do know that that's coming. I think that I'm not naive to the fact that there will be challenges when it comes to those kind of differences in parenting and personality, whether it was 2 girls or 2 boys, just they're different. Each child is different, and understanding that as well. We're different, so
I'm excited for these things that we get to talk about and explore together. And like it's it's been great for us to have the chance to talk with each other about parenting and just, share with each other, and now to be able to share with our listeners what we're going through. And we also hope you'll share back with us.
Yes.
And, give us some ideas of things that you want to hear about. If you have questions, we want to hear from you. We care about you, and we're here for you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate that you're here. If you did enjoy this discussion and think that this is going to be helpful to you, we do ask that you like and subscribe to our channel. And as Shauna said, if you do have any questions for us, if you even have like a topic of your own that you would like us to discuss or weigh in on, we'd love to hear from you. And you can email us at whomadethismesspod@gmail.com. And you can also find us on Instagram at whomadethismesspodcast. We hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.